Is that the little?
Hello everyone, welcome back to James and Flav for now. Really exciting stuff from our beloved patrons. You can become one by clicking the link in the description and joining us for our second podcast. This week, we normally do it earlier in the week. This week we're going to do it on Friday at 4:30, I think, or 4 p.m. Probably 4:35, let's be honest. But Max Beckett, who is a moisty, he says this. He says this video is the two football YouTubers try not to talk about Man United challenge. That's the challenge today, Flav. Because I have milked the Amorim teat dry. So now, and obviously if you do need a palate cleanser, there's a delightful Bournemouth video available on the channel, all being well. Right this second, Tom Jordan makes a guest appearance. Exciting.
That's nice of you, Jim. That's nice of you.
I like to, speaking of sucking on teats, I like to enjoy the teat of any middling football club that goes on to have little dalliances with sort of flies closer to the sun. That is glory. And therefore, so on the ripple effect, I had an Aberdeen fan and a Bournemouth fan.
All right, enough of that tripe.
Yeah.
All right, James. 12 months, is he going to be there? Nah, he'll be somewhere, but it won't be Bournemouth. And Bournemouth will be back to being shitty little Bournemouth. I'm joking. It's a joke. I absolutely adore watching Bournemouth. One of the most entertaining and exciting teams in the Premier League. And beating the best two sides in the league back to back was fucking marvellous. And Semenyo, what a peach of a player. And it tells you what, I'll tell you what, James, that player, if we're talking about microcosms, he is a bastion for what's good about the football pyramid in England.
Couldn't agree more.
A player that good to come through the leagues as they all do, but especially him, to play at Bournemouth, different challenges than say Dele Alli did at Tottenham, and to be that good, it's not. This is great. This is good. It's amazing that Bournemouth are that team this year, and because I haven't had an opportunity to talk about Amorim, I'm just going to say very impressive. Sorry, I just needed to get it out because I haven't spoken to anyone. I don't have anyone to talk to.
Failed the challenge.
James, I just sitting here on my own all day. Right? This is my opportunity to talk to someone.
That's lovely.
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. He is impressive.
Okay.
You know, the way he speaks.
Yeah.
He's just got it. The boy's got it. And I really hope it doesn't go well for Manchester United. Right? They don't deserve to do well. They don't deserve anything good, really. They've had their bit. They had their bit with Ferguson.
I feel like that's where we are today. And this is where we are in the season. We've been going a long time. And as I say, if you do want to become a beloved patron, we've been doing our second podcast, and there are 165 of them that you can dig into. And they're all evergreen because we don't really have any football chat on that. But what happens year in, year out is we ourselves have a somewhat of a cycle, I would say. And I think now we're getting into the period where we're sort of the real debate that sort of rears its ugly head on the Jaffin podcast is, are you allowed to moan or are you allowed to be excited? Because generally, even there, you couldn't help yourself with the Bournemouth chat straight away to just literally put your foot on his head and just go.
I didn't want to do that.
Tom Jordan, Bournemouth fan, but it's just like hope, and you just went no. It'll be gone in a year. Be gone in a year.
Yeah.
It'd be gone in a year. Well, you bought it. You bought it. Yeah, but you bought the league. Yeah, but you only score from set pieces.
Yeah, Tom Jordan's like underwater, and he's scrabbling to the surface, and he's running out of breath, and he breaks through the surface of the ocean, and goes,
yeah.
And then I'm in a boat and just push him back down.
Yeah, but it'd be gone in a year.
Drown.
We've got
drown.
The comments last week were fantastic. So in today's podcast, we are going to be talking about if the Premier League is opening up, because Manchester City are in crisis. Boom, boom, boom.
It's not just Manchester City. It's the most exciting one. There's crises everywhere. Crises everywhere, isn't there? Isn't it? You can start with any club you want. We're going to do Manchester City, obviously, because you've clicked on the title and the thumbnail. But look at Villa. I mean, is this? is it? I've got a question, and you don't have to answer it. And it's not my personal opinion. I'm just asking you a question. And the answer could be no. Could be no. I'm not sure. Is it all downhill from Villa from here? Fucking butchered that, didn't I? Anyway,
speaking of the analogy of like
you worried?
The sort of the oxygen of hope, because I am drowning right now, which we can talk about in a bit. But
yeah, we do need to talk about QPR.
Speaking of the same, like, so Bournemouth, they've just come up, they've beat Man City, and it's like, it's that, isn't it? Villa fans, that was probably the Conference League. It was a sort of like, and then sort of went back down for a bit, and then they got themselves back Champions League, and it's like, then they've beaten Bayern Munich and a couple of them. They take about 3 breaths, and then Tottenham have rocked up. They're getting pushed down. Can they stay afloat, Catherine?
They're all bobbing around. They're all bobbing around in the middle of the Atlantic at the moment, and there's a life raft, and I'm not sure who's getting on. Should we talk about Manchester City then?
Yeah, let me read out a super chat from Steve McInerney, who is a fantastic Manchester City YouTuber. We're going to go through some of the issues that he has highlighted in his. He did a stream reacting to the Lisbon game, and he's cracking. I think he's a real realist, and it's really hard for him because like Man United, you can go. Oh God, we've done it. Hang on. Also, let's say okay, we'll do Man United, but Man United, you go. This manager's not good enough. This isn't right. Do this, do that. All the things you're entitled to as a football fan, right? For Steve, it's hard because in this current crisis, and I searched on, I googled Man City crisis, and one of the articles looked at their previous crises, and the third one on the list was that they was similar to this one where they didn't win for 3 games. That's a crisis. So back to my initial point of like, when are you allowed to moan or not? Steve's in a really difficult question. And for me, because I'm about to talk about this, right? And I support a team that has lost their first 8 home games, have won 8 home games in 52.
I've been there. I've witnessed it. It's terrible.
8 wins in 52. And I'm pretty sure I missed 2 of those. Because I had something else, I had to go to a wedding or whatever. Certain of it. So, the well's a bit dry for sympathy. But sorry, just to finish it off. The thing he can't do, the nightmare he's got is if he goes, I'm angry, this isn't good enough, it's frustration.
No one cares.
But he can't have a go at the... No. I love that that's where your mind went. No, because they've been so brilliant for so long and they've got Pep Guardiola as manager, he can't go, Pep. You got to let the double pivots. Do you know what I mean? You can't do that. Because it's Pep Guardiola. Isn't
good
he?
enough,
4
Pep.
on the
This is
spin.
not good enough.
Pep. Anyway, but that's it. Here's a super chat from said stream before we get to the issues of which Stephen has highlighted. Obviously, go watch the whole stream. Go check him out. Very good. This is a super chat. Pep needs to go. I've had enough. There's more. Sorry, I had to stop there. There was a comma written there. To be fair, the grammar's quite good. There was a comma there, but I needed a full stop. Pep needs to go. I've had enough. We have been awful. Manchester City have been awful. We have no penetration. Fruit doesn't stay fresh forever. Pep is rotten now. Big up, bro. Wow. These are real people. These are people. These are people with brains. And they eat and they sleep. It's crazy.
You'll know for a lot of what's happened this week, and generally that people, by and large, fucking morons. So that doesn't surprise me at all. But quickly, James, and we need to dig down in that, of course. And he's had enough.
I've had enough.
He's had enough.
I've had enough.
But I literally just want to quickly touch on something you said just a second ago about, can he complain? Can he really look at Pep Guardiola and make any legitimate critical analysis of his game? No, obviously not, because he's the best manager in the world, right? Proven to be the case. But no one cares whether City fans are moaning. Like, you don't want to hear it. I don't care. Because what are you actually complaining about? You got a little rough patch, have you? Get over it. Suck it up. Watch your team get better. And also, QPR. No one really cares if you're in a bad place either.
I have to sit there and watch it.
Yeah, your choice.
It's not my choice. It's not my choice. I have no choice. This is the whole point. I know, I'm biting pretty quickly here, but I haven't. That's the thing, honestly, because I'm sat there, and I have no. I'm sat there. Honestly, it's hitting me harder each year now. I'm sat there, and I'm like, what am I doing here?
What am I doing?
I'm getting to that point. Where it's like,
I feel for you, James.
Honestly, I've got it's indigestion.
What?
It's giving me indigestion.
What was it? Was it the third goal when it went in yesterday? Middlesbrough beat QPR 4-1.
I'm snapping in a new way. It's a new form of disappointment.
What does it feel like, Jim? Let's dig down into this a little bit.
It's like heartburn. It's honestly like indigestion. That's because I've been thinking about it a lot.
It has a physical manifestation, an actual physical pain.
Honestly, it takes my breath away. It stings my lungs, and because it's like we're kind of we're well set up. We're a really well coached team.
Just can't get that ball in the net, can you?
It's just like care as much as I do. That's what I need.
Yeah.
That's what I need. And thing is, I was thinking about this. Thing is, football's different now. Is it? Football for some people it's different because there's different ways of playing, and sometimes you've got to stay compact. You don't dive in, things like that. But when you are so frustrated, you just want someone to crunch someone else.
Yeah, 100%. And that we need to bring that back into the game.
Yeah, you're right. You should be allowed one. You should be allowed
one crunch.
Yeah, you should be allowed one crunch.
Yeah,
because that's the problem now. I think it's hurting the football fans' physical health because without being able to get away with one crunching tackle, that just stays within me because you're going to get sent off, so no one can do it.
Have you got any players that will do that crunching tackle? Jimmy Dunn might.
Samfield, yeah, Jimmy Dunn, God bless him. And
the
man was back. He was. He was back on Tuesday night.
What?
Get it! Fuck off!
Fuck off!
That's a CPM gun. So yeah, we had an incident this week. The what? Get out of it! Man was back. I may have quickly filmed it. I may have sent it to Flav, but we will not be showing it you because that's going too far. Okay.
Mean.
Yeah, Jimmy Dunn.
So he's done it. So just so quickly, right. Exactly how James done that. What?
Get out of it!
Right. That's exactly to a T what the guy does. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was bang on. I was really chuffed with that. He was doing, and we will get back to Man City. Don't worry. But he was the players, bless them, were going round, cheered, and we've lost 4-1. It's a terrible, terrible performance. Oh, and we were talking about the song, like when we drew, and it was lifted, yeah. We could be lifted, and we're walking out going, I feel a bit better. That was after that one. Do you know what's interesting this time? Didn't get it as spot on. We were really frustrating. The game was really boring, and then we let 2 goals in within about 5 minutes. Everyone's absolutely fuming. It goes to half time. Boos ring out, and then the sun comes on. Ooh, baby, do you know what that's worth? Ooh, heaven is a place on earth. Well, it's not here. It's not here. That's right.
Not in here.
It's not bloody here, I'll tell you that. Anyway, the guy was going, get out. He went, F off, F off, F off. Go on, F off. And poor Jimmy Dunn was one of the few players brave enough to make his way around and clap all the fans. Now, question for you, Flav. How many F offs must a man take? How many F offs should a professional footballer take before they respond?
Not many. The thing is, I think after 4, you stop becoming a footballer, and then you become right. But this is an actual issue, right?
A bit like Eric Dyer. Remember that?
Yeah, there's a lot, and everyone like his stock went through the roof when he did that in Spurs fans. It was like, yeah, go on, bat that dickhead. The
question for the patrons, by the way: how many f-offs before Jimmy Dunn's allowed to reply?
I don't think many, and I think he's within his rights to say, all right, let's have it on the pitch, because you're not. And there'll be the league will go, no, you can't do that. Why? Simply because I have football boots on. And I'm standing on a piece of grass, and he has shoes on, and he's standing in a concrete stadium, right?
And he gives everything, Jimmy does give everything, every single time as well.
Of course, but then that gives this guy carte blanche to tell me to F off 8 times in a row. That is not on. If it's in a pub, what would happen?
It's quite an interesting thing as well, because most people, myself included, I was sort of going to Dad, I'd had 4 hours sleep the night before going up, and I was like, Dad, should we just go? I'm big on not going early, but I was just like, I'm happy to go. I just needed him. You need someone else to go. It's like, I guess we could go for a Chinese buffet, but what you really need is the other person to go. Yeah, okay, let's go for it, and then you're gone. So I needed Dad to go. Yeah, we'll go, and Dad just kept.
Hang on a second. Was there a Chinese? Was there a Chinese buffet on offer?
That's just an analogy. Yeah. But what I found interesting was the fact that with everyone leaving. And that man, as angry as he was still he's like 10 rows back, going, sort of slowly walking towards, waiting for the full-time whistle so he can go, what's that? Get the fuck out of here! Fuck off! Fuck off! Fuck off! No! Fuck off! No! Fuck off!
No, stop walking towards me! Stop walking towards me!
Walk away from me! No! Well, you're still here as well. So... the answer was 6 F-offs, because Jimmy then, Jimmy bless him, cracked. He went, no, you fuck off. You fuck off. And he goes, no, you. He went, fuck off. No, you fuck off. So the next question is that okay for him to respond like that? I'm absolutely fine with it. I'll be honest.
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
I don't know why footballers have to show why do they have to show restraint? Because of what? Like, what if someone's telling you and saying all these horrendous things? Why can't you lamp a fan? Why can't you?
That's a great point.
If someone was being outrageously rude in a pub and he got lamped, no one would be going, "Oh, you shouldn't have hit him. You should have turned the other cheek." The guy deserved it. Yeah. He decked him. He deserved it. This is what I'm saying, James. Right? It's this new soft round the edges generation. Right? They don't know how to behave themselves. They don't know where the line is because they don't spend any time in pubs. When I was growing up, just a wee boy, right? You learned a lesson. You knew where the line was. If you was a habitual line stepper, then someone was going to eventually deck you.
You're going to get clipped.
And that's...
Yeah, do you know, that is a good point. People need to know...
So my point is... Yeah, you step the line. I think a football fan should be able to offer a straightener to the fan in the pitch. Let's have it right now.
Well, so Catherine says 4. George Penna says 3. Someone else said, Ben said after 2 you can show your frustration, but after 3 you can offer a scrap. Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy, I stand with you, but could you please win some games, especially home ones? That would be lovely. Manchester City.
Just before we go to Manchester City,
10th.
Just before we go to Man City, this will take 2 seconds. Can we just have just a round of applause for Dominic Solanke's finish, the little movement and the finish at the weekend, please? James, round of applause, please. Keep it going. Some player, that. Okay, let's move on to City.
Where's that come? Okay. So yes, Man City struggling. Let's let me go through what Stephen said to himself.
Go for it.
Are they actually? Is this it, Flav? Are we finally there? Because all good things come to an end. I remember a long time ago, I worked at ITV, and I remember thinking, when's this X Factor shit going to stop? And I couldn't see an end to it. And that's essentially been Man City for a long time now.
It's not like working on it, no.
It was every, when you work on a breakfast show, every Monday you've got the new guest in who thinks they're going to make it, and it's like you're a nobody. Anyway, Stephen, poor bloke, he's caught between a rock and a Guardiola because he can't really ever go at the lads. So injuries is an issue, he said. Grealish out, Rodri out. I mean,
Rodri's the only one
Rodri's the killer
that matters.
I mean, creatively,
but isn't this?
They're struggling a little bit. I think De Bruyne is. I know it sounds obvious, but he is so crucial for them.
This is important, what we're witnessing at Manchester City, and it's right that this is happening. This is a good thing for football because it means that no matter how good a manager it is, you can't lose two of the key pieces of your team. Because if somehow Pep Guardiola turned City into a title winning side without those two players for the majority of the season, Rodri's out for the season, but De Bruyne might be back at some stage. It's really no point. There's no point. Like if he's in the league, they're winning it. So it's really crucial that if you take Rodri and De Bruyne out, that City fall apart. This is good for football. It might be painful for Man City fans to bear witness to, but this is good for football because it means if you take the key players out of any team, it falls apart.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Very true. Very true. Thank God. We just
Thank
need
God for that.
We just need people to get hurt.
Yeah.
A
little bit.
Oh, that is lovely. That's nice.
But everyone has injuries. Spurs had injuries last year. Arsenal didn't have injuries, but they have had injuries and they're dropping off. It's part of the game. I know they've had excessive. Liverpool played a League Cup, a major cup competition with like 4 kids I'd never even heard of, never seen again.
Yeah.
Apart from Quansah, I've seen a bit about him.
Well, Ben, one of them tore us apart on Tuesday. Back to that. Cheers, Ben Doak. Lack of physicality / older squad. Not sure I'm having that, Stephen. Because that could also be called experience. I'm not totally sure on that. But it is, like you say, the injuries is obviously because it's in transition, they're like sort of struggling. And do you know what I do like, as systematic as football has become, there's still the little nooks and crannies of leadership and just being a bloody winner. I know it sounds basic. That Rodri's like an incredible brain, obviously, but he's also just kind of finds a way. I know that sounds really base, but same with Kevin De Bruyne. Sometimes those players are like, yes, you're more talented, but sometimes you're just like, well, no, I'm not. You know when you have everyone has a mate where it's like when you're playing football, where it is, he always seems to win because he's just he's just got it in. It's in his fibre. Like Roy Keane kind of had that about him, didn't he? And Rodri, I think, has that as well. Like just going, right, let's sort this out then. There were games like that last year. And one of his other issues here, he says no leadership currently without Diaz, Rodri and KDB once again. What about Haaland?
Yeah, but it's not leadership is leadership. It's a unit. You have leaders on the pitch, but they exist and they work within a structured team. If you're taking key people out like Diaz, Rodri, and De Bruyne, you are going to suffer leadership issues. Like all of this comes down to injuries, all of it. Like this could have been one list, just to injuries, because all these everything sort of stems from that.
What about recruitment though? Because I guess in terms of an overall squad, like everyone has injuries, and you have to just kind of get on with it.
They didn't spend significantly in the summer, did they?
Well, they sold Alvarez.
Vino.
They sold Alvarez, so they have no other striker. They have no other striker. Even do you know who they should have kept hold of? Liam Delap.
Yeah.
But also they don't really have a backup six either. Like Kovacic is obviously kind of playing there.
Yeah, but what do you do? And this, I think there's an infatuation with positions. And if someone's world class like Rodri is, Harry Brooks. I'm borrowing off of Harry Brooks here. Like people don't know he's a good lad. Harry Brooks. He knows a lot about football, and he has some interesting ideas. And when you first hear it, it's like madness. And he'd probably be listening to this, and I'm going to butcher it, but I'll do my best. He says that there are no positions. There's a way you set your team up. This is my interpretation of not what he said, because he might have said something else completely. But there are no positions, right? That you have the way the team is set up, but in the fluidity of the game, players are in and out of each other's positions constantly. And so while you have Rodri as a 6 there consistently because he's so good, actually what you see for a lot of the time, certainly at Spurs, is that you've got three midfielders are filling each other's roles constantly and moving and flitting between them. But you can't. It's not no issue about no recognised six. It's that you can't bring in a replacement for. You can't bring in a backup to Rodri because he's going to play every minute. In the same way that we couldn't bring up a backup striker for Kane because he was going to play every minute. Rodri before this was so consistent, always there, always winning.
I do, and yeah, I agree.
So you need a player who'd be able to fill in, not buy a second specialised six, is what I'm saying. And they're really hard to find.
I think the one exception I feel like is that that centre point of a team, like a six like him, because you like to your point, if you put Rodri out on the left wing, he's not good, is he? So like. But to your point, if you have, you have guys who are generally playing at the back, Stones, Ake, Akanji, Gvardiol, you got all those guys. You can take one out and put one in. But Rodri, that position, you need, and it also when in terms of in that position, off the ball as well as on the ball, that's something because like the sort of aura of a player sometimes it gets to a point where Kyle Walker said this the other day, but Van Dijk had it for a long time as well. Like Van Dijk, he got so good that people then kind of gave up against him. And Kyle Walker said that he was talking about Traore beating him for pace, and he said normally once I start to go, the defender will just give the winger will just give up because like over the years they kind of know I know Kyle Walker's quicker than me, whereas Traore was like I'm pretty quick myself, so he kind of just went for it. With Rodri. I think with Rodri, there would have been moments, and it's like based on facts. Like he's 6 foot something, he's brilliant on the ball, he wins loads of duels, he reads the game brilliantly, and looks after the team, and he's clearly incredibly intelligent. But like not just like what he's doing per game, the like aura of losing him, it gives
massive.
It gives the opposition like another 3-4% because they're like. When you look and you see Kovacic next to you or Gundogan next to you or Rico Lewis next to you, in terms of those sort of one-on-one duels in that moment, you feel like you've got a much better chance. And which is why Arteta and Guardiola have absolutely stacked their teams with big lads. Because you can't kind of just get through them or, buoy them. You can't just like get out of the way. Whereas I think with those other guys that are there, they feel more impenetrable.
For Manchester City, in order to really recovery from this position and kind of look at the title again, they've got to, I know it sounds stupid, but they've got to get to January without losing again. They've got to somehow turn this around. Pep Guardiola's got to pull it out of the bag because, and the reason I'm saying this is that come January, they're going to have a war chest, Jim. They could spend what they like in January. No, I mean, I'm suggesting that if they want to win, it's been mooted.
Well, so
I'm mooting.
I'm not trying to dig out Stephen because he's been very useful here by giving me essentially a lovely list, and we're utilising his knowledge here. But when he then, and this was quick top line stuff, of that list of stuff, he then wrote down, what are the solutions? And for about 5 of the 6, it said signings. And I was like, oh, no, yeah.
Signings.
Oh, yeah. Just buy one.
Well,
just buy one then.
We got a problem. Put more money.
Yeah. I'm being facetious. He wasn't.
You want a hot dog? Are you hungry? Well, eat a hot dog. Well, I'm going to eat a hot dog. Buy a hot dog then. All right. And the hot dog that they need to buy.
Go on.
I'm sure this is fine to say. The hot dog is Carlos Baleba.
Okay.
From Brighton.
Yeah, that is a really good shout.
That is a solution to their problem currently that they will be able to make happen in January to the tune of around 40 million euros, I would imagine, or pounds.
Yeah, you're right. They need it. They don't need a man. They need a pup. They need a guy who's sort of still on the way up, so he's quite happy to be essentially what
also,
Rodri was for Fernandinho.
Class. Yeah, he's class as well.
Yeah, you like him, don't you?
And he can play. He can play in the 6. He can play in midfield.
There are no positions.
And
there are no positions.
Exactly, he can do it all. He can do it all.
I mean, on my list, I wrote Man City struggles, Arsenal struggles, Villa struggles, Tottenham inconsistent. It's all up for grabs this year. We did on the Ripple Effect. We did. They're good, but are they good? We basically just had a list of teams because it's the most inconsistent, confusing Premier League
And isn't it great? Isn't it great?
It's fantastic.
Isn't it great?
It's great for the bloody game.
That's what you want. That's what you want. You want mayhem and chaos.
I'll give you.
Um,
I'll give you just a couple of minutes just to enjoy some Arsenal chat, because I know you live for it. Then we will have to move on.
Okay.
So how are you feeling about Arsenal?
I'm feeling for them as a fan base.
Are you?
I'm feeling for them.
Yeah.
I don't like what they're having to go through currently, and the trauma of not winning a couple of games must be awful for them. But and obviously they're turning. I said they're turning, aren't they? They're turning on.
All right.
They're turning on Arteta.
How is the
turning? It's turning, isn't it? They've left it out overnight. He's getting it. They're getting there, but how close are they? Now, I've said this. I've said this wherever I got the opportunity. They are mad. The guy's an incredible coach, frustratingly good. From my perspective, I would love you to get rid of him. That's how good he is, because I think it's a massive problem for Arsenal. But it's kind of, they're fighting it on several fronts here, right? It could all have gone wrong because Odegaard got injured, and when he comes back, it all clicks into gear again. That could happen. That's a likelihood. Mm-hmm. But also, this stuff about Edu is different. Like you don't that isn't a good look, in my opinion. There was 3 of them a part of this team to turn Arsenal around. When Edu said, I don't know if you saw this interview, when I turned up at Arsenal, I didn't like what I saw. This wasn't the club that I belonged to. And we had to turn it around and become something else. And look what they did. They nearly won the league. The only reason they're not league winners are because Manchester City exists and Pep Guardiola exists. And you might say, well, that's the lay of the land. But no one can beat them. Liverpool are the only team that beat them, and that was COVID season. So my point is you're crazy if you want him to go. Well, you're mad.
Yeah. Well, he's got. I think. Do you know what, Edu? If he's
fraud, he's a fraud. You're a fraud. You're the problem. You're the dickhead. You're a fraud. You're sitting there in your bedroom, right, with your Arsenal fucking shit behind you, the flags and stuff, right? And you're calling someone like Mikel Arteta a fraud because he hasn't won a league game in 3. A fraud. And you in your pajamas in Putney or wherever you are calling your manager, who knows so much more about football than you could ever imagine, is a fraud. You're a fraud.
They're angry.
You're a joke. Yeah. Why am I more defensive of your manager than you are? Ask yourself that. How can that be the case?
That is.
When are the bigger clubs going to come in for Saka? That's what
no
I want
one's
to know.
Genuinely, and no one listening to this podcast who's an Arsenal fan. And by the way, thank you for sticking with this one, because you got to listen to him smashing you up each week, right? But no one. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. Is anyone legitimately Mikel Arteta out? No one is. They're not. They made yesterday. Okay, it was a tough watch, and I was like, thank God Odegaard's back, because in 3 minutes that he was on, you could just see them all look a little bit better. There was a little bit more space. There was someone standing in that position that Odegaard stands in, that they've been screaming for, and it puts something in the minds of some of those defenders to help unlock it that little bit. I think he's the question with Odegaard for me is this could be the turning point. Now, Kashev, is it Kashev, I think? Yeah, Kashev said, have Arsenal peaked? I'll let you answer that in a second. What I will say is, like, Odegaard being back, as long as he's able to stay fit and kind of get back to his levels, like, Arsenal are back. Arsenal, I'm absolutely back. And what they've been doing is hanging in there, and they've done it. Overall, they've done it fantastically. Like, is it enough to be a team that can't cope without one player? Like with Man City, we're talking about a good few here, and like their top guys. Now, Odegaard is their top guy, but it feels like they've got absolutely no one, even in a similar profile, to come in to that position to help with that creativity. And they're just crossing it and crossing it and crossing it. How do you? I think but you had it. There's like Fabio Vieira. You got to give him more game. You should have given him more games.
It might not be good enough.
You probably should have stuck with him a little bit as well, in my opinion, because you've got all these guys. There's a point where it tips over. Like with Man City, I think that, like, one of the things that Stephen said was they've got no pace defensively, But whilst it was all working and you had all the pieces in place, they were just gargantuan and brilliant because they weren't, and then the pace wasn't the same kind of issue because you had Rodri there. So when you lose that one piece, you need to be able to find a new solution. And for Arsenal, he's found the best solution available to him, but him being out gave me huge concerns over Arsenal being able to win the league. And if he can't, because it's, you don't just come back and then that's it. If he breaks down again, I think that's the end for Arsenal in terms of winning the league this year.
Yeah, I think you can see that, can't you?
I think so.
And I think so. And it's hard. You can't replace your best players. It's just impossible. So you have to find a way of winning, knowing that you're going to be at 80% or 70%. And for Arsenal, they can beat most teams playing it that way. And remember, they lost to Bournemouth, which for them I think was the one that stung the most. But lots of teams are going to lose when they go to Bournemouth this season. So they've got to be philosophical about their position. Like, I don't get me wrong, I love the meltdowns, right? I spend hours on TikTok waiting for Arsenal fans complaining on it. But it's
you poke it as well. What did you? Oh, because hang on. After everything you've said, you've breaking transfer news, guys. You've been now. Ten Hag is no longer in your sort of Twitter rotation. So
gone now, and he's gone.
Now got a new signing, haven't you?
Yeah. So I mean, it's Arteta, isn't it? So if you're watching this, I'll let you in. I'll let you in. Right?
Go on.
It's a joke, right? It's obviously a joke. They don't seem to get it. Every single time Arsenal lose, and I say he's got to go in, they're like, woo. So I'm like, chill out. It's just a joke.
How do you spell?
You can't. Listen to me, James. Listen to what I'm about to say to you.
Go on.
Answer me this question directly. Do some of the bigger clubs need to take a look at Saka? How long can they keep him for?
That was the tweet I was
James, I'm asking a question. Why is it this not I'm not poking the bear here, mate. I'm not trying to wind them up. I'm asking a simple question. Is how long does Saka stay at a club that's losing? When should he and I'm asking Arsenal fans out there.
What?
When do you need to let him go?
Sorry.
When do you need to let him go?
More breaking news. Is that true?
You're not been done again, is it?
I don't know, maybe. Mark Robbins.
Jeff Stelling dead at 58.
Mark Robbins been sacked by Coventry. No. Surely not.
James, why would you think any of us would... What?
Sorry. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. Fuck you. Right, Saka. Would you take him at Tottenham?
Nah, he ain't good enough for Spurs. But the... why? Hang on a second. Mark Robbins. Why is that a City Coventry doing all right?
He's probably the. That's so short-sighted. That is so dumb.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a heartbreak. Well, they're struggling, right? They got a draw against us. They didn't look great. Okay. But mate, he's taken them from League 2 to League 1 to one game away from the Premier League. One game away from the FA Cup final. And they're going through a tricky spell. That's the word.
Interesting.
That is so stupid.
They owe more. They owe more than that.
That's a joke.
He can turn it around, can't he?
Of course he.
What I'm saying is, there's no patience. There's no fucking patience.
That's the one good thing with Rangers. Like, we are really struggling somehow. There's a few people being stupid, but like generally, no one's sort of saying he's got to go. Football is fickle. That's right. Joy, but mate, if something goes wrong at Birmingham, get Mark Robbins. Well, he'll get snapped up like that. And did a good job. Joy would be great at Sheffield United if Wilder didn't work, but he is working right now. Anyway, Arsenal, look, they're struggling.
Real Madrid. If Real Madrid come in for Saka.
I feel like footballers.
City.
I feel like footballers look at it all a bit differently these days. Whereas before they were like, "Oh, I don't really want to go abroad." I think they all do want to tick the buckets. Wow.
Of course, yeah, of course they do. Tick the boxes. James, if you imagine, so Manchester City financially are primed, right? I know that they've got these charges coming, but they are primed. They have so much money that they can spend. So basically, the PSR for Manchester City But bearing in mind they turned a profit and haven't actually spent, in terms of net spend, nearly anything in the last 5 years. The minute they want a marquee player, they can afford to get him. I'm just posing the question: if they come in £150 million for Saka, can Arsenal say no? That's 100%. That's £150 million profit, by the way. That goes straight onto their profits ledger.
Yep.
Because he's homegrown.
Yep.
Is he going to say no to Manchester City and Pep Guardiola if he stays? And they'll actually win something. Everyone wins.
Do you know what, with Pep, right? One, he needs to decide if he's staying for another year. I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge problem. Because why would you sign? But why would you sign for when you're signing for Man City?
Signing Pep.
You're signing for Pep. Yeah. So I think if you sign for Man City now, you generally, you know that in the next 3 years at best, you will have a new manager that you don't know if he likes you or not. So
yeah,
for you to go,
Saka, everyone's going to like him, surely.
Yeah, no, I know that, I get that, but then who is that new manager? Are you actually going to be excited about that manager? Like, I guess maybe it's the same. As we say, like Mark Robins if Mark Robins can lose his job, everyone can lose their job, and you never know who's going to stay there. So maybe you are signing for the club as opposed to the manager. But yeah, I don't. If I was Saka and Man City came in for me right now, I wouldn't go. I'd stay at Arsenal because I think it's more worth it to stay at Arsenal right now. Definitely.
So Arsenal fans out there are going, no, but Saka doesn't want to go anywhere. He doesn't, he's happy. He's an Arsenal fan. He'll never leave. And in the immortal words of Jim Irwood, terrible football agent who used to work at Ball Street. By his own admission. By his own admission.
Yeah.
He said all players want to move. All of them. And I was like, what? Even Harry Kane? He went, even Harry Kane. Yep. They all want to go.
And here we are. Yeah.
Mate, I love this. I've just seen your screen.
Yeah. Do you want to? So you wanted to talk about this? I've watched it. I'm not going to play it for people. I don't think. Although I probably could. I think probably get away with it. Yeah. Fuck it.
Yes, BBC.
This is so good. I'll play it, but I'll mute it. It's only a light show, isn't it? Basically, Millwall Football Club have a deal with some company that does light shows, and so they've got a sort of deal with them, and so they are contractually obliged to put on a pre-match light show
for 3 games a season.
Is it 3 games a season?
Yeah. So like everybody, like Millwall refused to take the knee. The players refused to take the knee for the stand against racism.
Right.
It's like that for them. So every other team's agreed 3 times a season will take the knee to stamp out racism. Millwall's alternative is 3 times they've got to have a light show that they don't want.
Yeah, oh right, I didn't realise that. I love the fight. The whole crowd is booing right now. Because it ain't Millwall. This ain't Ibiza. This is South Bermondsey.
We don't want it. We don't want this. Like, we don't want fucking immigrants. We don't want immigrants, and we don't want dynamic lighting. All right, 2 things we hate at Millwall is immigrants and dynamic lighting.
Which one do you hate more? Oh wow, now you're putting me in a spot.
Well, yeah, immigrants obviously, but
oh wow, dynamic lighting or immigrant? It's close. I'm gonna have to go with dynamic lighting actually.
So part of the reason why they're contractually obliged to do this is because
look at that bit.
They supplied the floodlights. I don't know if there's any other. I'd like the idea that there isn't any other stipulations. Like there's no money exchanging hands. Like we just want to do a light show 3 times 3 times a season.
Yeah, the music as well.
They're all booing. It's
so good.
Still going to do it.
Hating every second of it. And the music, of course, is.
Imagine the meeting.
Great stuff.
So James, like imagine that they have the meeting afterwards. So they brought in the lighting people, the floodlights guys, and went. How do you think it went? Well, fans didn't like it. No, it's for the fans, isn't it? Yeah, but they hate it. They're booing. And they're like, "You can do the other 2 though, aren't you? Do you think we should? Because they hate it." Like all the fans there absolutely hate it.
If they see
yeah, but you got your contracts are obliged. You got to do another 2, or we're taking them away.
if they're smart, the company are thrilled because this is so much more PR
Yeah,
than they ever would have got. If they're in the article, I can't be asked to read now. But if they're in the article and people know that the awareness that they're getting from this is absolutely hilarious. What I do like that from Millwall going like, this ain't football. This isn't us. We don't need a light show. Stop it. Like a song's enough. Let's get up for it ourselves. I do love that. They're sort of hanging on, like they're not hanging on. They're like pushing back on like this nonsense that there often is. Back to your point from a couple of weeks ago. Right, we've got some great stuff here, and we've got a couple of BJ videos. Sounds bad, but you know what I mean. If you listen,
mate, I've seen one. Have you? You've obviously seen the. I've received the BJ video.
I've got 2.
Have you?
That's
interesting.
I've got two blowjob.
I've got one BJ video. You've got 2 of you. I wish I had 2.
I'm saying BJ because I don't want to say the words because I'm trying to somehow protect some kind of CPM when we've been talking about immigrants. We've been saying about hating immigrants.
You can say immigrants.
Like I don't know. You can say immigrants because
I can hate them.
Yeah. Anyway, given up.
You can't say I hate them.
We need some sponsors, Flav. We need some sponsors, okay? I'm not doing
we
this.
do need some bloody sponsors.
Right.
I just thought of an idea. Actually, no, I won't say it now because Luke will be all over it and go, "No, I want my 20%. It's nothing to do with you, Luke."
Luke gets
so I'll tell you afterwards. Got a great idea.
Biannually, Luke gets us brand deals. If anyone's wondering, content.
Got 1 brand deal.
Right. Some comments. Here we go. Hayden Salter said, I think an important thing in football is being able to laugh at yourself, to not take the journey too seriously. And Flav manages to grant me that every time I start to think that we're going somewhere. This week, he's a Man United fan. This week has been one of the most hopeful as a Man United fan in a while. Bringing in Amorim, talk about what players we might sign, mentions of Alphonso Davies, James's video on our rebuild. I was feeling excited for the rest of the season. Then I turn on this podcast and bam, Flav talking about how our new manager was bending over for West Ham in the summer. One must beware hubris. Thank you, Flav, for bringing this slug back down to earth. There you go. So some possible new bits here. When I realised. So this is off the back. If you've got a when I realised, let us know. Hopefully this will make sense in a second. This is sort of after the David James discussion where he saved the penalties, and was he actually doing the kid a favour because that person is going to score? If he had scored the goals at some point in the future, he would have realised, we probably let them in. So Nick Johnston says this: I was the mascot for Blackpool versus Birmingham when I was about 5 in 1997. I banged 2 past Phil Barnes, bottom bins.
Bottom bins.
Well, so he stood motionless by the power and direction of the strike. I was probably around 14 when it dawned on me that he let it in. And despite minor doubts over the years, which means I dined out on confidence from the 2 strikes for at least 8 years. Thank you, Phil Barnes. I think I would have just ended it all if you David James'd me. What's good when you get a good comment is when I see replies, I get really excited when I click on the reply just to know what's coming. And there's been a few good replies this week. And the first comment to that comment was from Nietzsche Preacher. He said, never heard bottom bins before. And to your point, because you were like, bottom bins? It's quite nice. Bottom bins.
Bottom bins.
And Villa Boy said, nah, lad, at 5 you Division 1 quality striker for sure. Bottom bins was just the opposite of top bins.
Where's top bins? Is it Soccer AM?
No, I don't think so, because I think it was like, I don't know. Yeah, if anyone knows origins of top bins. I heard someone, he's got a Barcelona podcast, American guy, and I hadn't heard this since I was a coach in Colorado, long time ago, when he was saying, and then Lewandowski's got he takes his strike and he smoked it top bins. No, smoked it in the upper 90. That was it. And because I remember American kid rolling a ball to me going, "Hey coach, smoke it in the upper 90."
Jesus. Gosh. How long did you last out there?
It was a glorious summer. We had a whole summer there. It was brilliant. Old English accent. Worked a treat.
Do you want me to? The phrase "top bins" is a football term that refers to the top corners of a goal where the crossbar and upright meet. The exact origin of the phrase is unclear, but it may be related to the use of bin-like targets in goal corners during training, the act of throwing waste into a bin from a distance with precision. The earliest known use of the phrase "top bins" was in 2010. It was later added to the Oxford English Dictionary as a noun and adverb. Scoring a goal in the top bins is considered a display of skill and precision and is often the highlight of the match. It's particularly difficult because it's the hardest area of the goalkeeper to reach. There you go.
Good. Smoke it, top bins. Smoke it in the upper... Smoke it.
Smoke it in the upper 90s.
And you've gone and smoked it. Pet hates.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
I know you won't.
I know you won't. I know you won't. We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Right. Pet hates. Now, Mick Banner's gone for a sneaky little power move and called it pet peeve. It's called pet hates, dickhead.
Yeah.
He said, when someone... But I do like the pet hate. Get your pet hates in. When someone says he's the best player in Europe, have the balls to just say world, please. They're talking about league football, and the world's best leagues players play in Europe. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, it's a fair point, but there may be some little nutter in the Brazilian leagues that I'm not aware of.
Yeah, but he won't have got to his prime. So you might as well say world.
Okay.
Right. Good guy, bad guy. Florist Matt says, there's a few people said this. Also, do I notice there's quite a few Aberdeen fans that listen to the pod?
Really?
Yeah,
I've got a lot of time for an Aberdeen fan.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time. Spurs Aberdeen. There's a kinship there. Like someone dug me out. I saw in the comments just a minute ago.
Yeah. Shame. Good guy, bad guy. Can we have a new bit where you work out who's the good guy and who's the bad guy in every football rivalry? For example, Spurs being the evident good guys, fighting the invaders of Arsenal. I need to know them all. So a few people want that. So good guy, bad guy. We need some options for next week. So let us know. But we have got one for this week. McSlash says, Jaffin versus Soccer Aid. Who
well,
are
it's
the
Jaffin
good guys? Who are the bad guys? Do you want to just provide a bit of context here?
Yeah, but well, it's Jaffin / Lad Bible, not just Jaffin. So us versus Soccer Aid. If it was us versus Soccer Aid, we'd win. What's that you got there, Joe?
Don't mind me.
So
you're saying Soccer Aid, really?
Is that the little present I bought for Jim to help his throat after last week? What's it called again? Is it good?
Mate, it's insane. It's so fucking good. It's like, I honestly...
It better be, because it's well dear.
Mate,
so expensive.
Well, right, the answer is Jaffin good, Soccer Aid evil. Boo, Soccer Aid. Boo.
Yeah.
We're going to the award ceremony next week. Fingers crossed. We slap up the Soccer Aid lot.
Yeah,
all day. Flav, bless him, bought me Manuka, which is very sweet, and it is very sweet, and it's so tasty, so dangerous as well.
Welcome, you're welcome, Jim.
Yeah. Dangerous though. I don't know where to put it because it's on my mind all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So just to get us started with good guy, bad guy.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm going to do a tricky one. Let us know in the comments, and we'll read out the best ones. Millwall, West Ham, because I don't know the answer.
I think Millwall are the bad guys. West Ham are the good
guys. Because of what all as discussed there. But yeah, I'm not sure them. Like, who dislikes immigration less per capita?
That's a different bit. That's a new bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
is it
probably
Millwall or West Ham?
West Ham, I would say. I have no clue.
Because East Ham's one of the most multicultural places on earth.
But then, like Peckham, and around, it's right by.
Is that West Ham? Is that a West Ham there?
No, it's not Bermondsey, but it's right. But I used to walk to Millwall way, and I grabbed him by.
I grabbed him by his fucking throat. So then I just fucking grabbed him by his fucking throat.
So I've said to him. So I've grabbed him by the throat. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I hope that everyone is open to the fact that someone might have different coloured skin or may have been persecuted in one country and is looking to improve their life by going
Don't be
to
so
another country.
naive. Don't be so
Or
naive.
to escape some form of danger. Frightening, isn't it? Anyway, but I would say probably generally Millwall considered the bad guys. Manuka chat. We were just talking about there. Right, Jim. This is J-But FC. Right, Jim. Bit of Manuka chat here. I used to be a singer, so I can sympathise with the throat issues. Manuka is key and worth the investment. It has saved my performances multiple times. There were so many people that I didn't. There's like a Manuka army out there. It's got it's brand value. Everyone loves Manuka. See. Anyway, he goes, I'm not sure about having it on toast though. What I used to do is get a small amount on a teaspoon, 1/4 to /1/2 a teaspoon, sort of amount. Place it on my tongue and just leave it there. Let it work itself down your throat, and you will experience vocal lubrication like never before. I would do this in the break between sets and also afterwards, as it aided with recovery too. A £25 pot of honey that you can use dozens of times will save you multiple videos. It's worth the investment. Get it done. Fortunately, Flav has come to my aid. Now, I clicked on the comment. There were a couple of replies here as well from the Manuka army.
Yeah,
which I was surprised by. I didn't think Manuka chat. I wouldn't have called that the sort of a bingo card at the start of the year. James McCall said, do you have to buy a £25 version? They do have cheaper ones too. They have an associated number that is something to do with the number of flora or something. The £6 one has a 50 and the £25 one has 500 plus. Now, so what has Flav got me? That's the question. Good grief, Flav. Good grief.
What was it?
850.
Is that good?
That's a flex from you, Flav.
Is that about?
That's
about as good as it gets?
I think so. If 25 quid,
What, look,
25 quid's 500 plus. You got 850. That's gone. Oh no, hang on. I don't know. So there's a 20 plus UMF, and then there's an 850 plus MGO. I don't know what the difference. I think it's 20.
Jim. I was looking at it. I looked at it and go, there were different prices.
Sure.
And I'm like, in my head, the more expensive it is, the better it is.
Sure.
I just bought the most expensive one on there.
This guy. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I honestly want to down it right now.
What I could do, James, if you ever send me my half of the super chats at any stage in the future, then I'll call it quits.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the higher the number, the better the quality of the honey. Higher concentrations of the good stuff. Don't think I ever bought a jar for more than 18 quid, though, to be honest. I'd never buy a crazy expensive jar out of principle, which is kind of what you did, but it's actually out of love, if we're honest. What are you going to say?
Well, not about Manuka honey.
Go on, it'd be about anything.
Tyrone Mings deserved it.
I haven't seen it. What happened? Do you want me to watch it live? He done a handball.
Yeah. So the goalkeeper took a place kick. The ball was live. He picked it up and put it back on the 6-yard box. Excuse me. The 6-yard box, right? And the referee said, "You've handballed the ball. There's a penalty."
No way.
Yeah. I mean, it is a penalty. It is a penalty, but it's so harsh. It's so stupid. Like, just he's gaining absolutely zero tactical advantage by doing that. It was a mistake. Just let them play.
Yeah. So I'm watching the penalty. Fine. Good penalty.
No, it's after the penalty's irrelevant.
No, I know that.
All right. Yeah. Did you saw it then? Yeah.
No, I'm watching it now.
All right. Okay. It was a misunderstanding, like you said. Like Thomas says, it's not a penalty. It's not. There's no point in doing this.
Hang on. Sorry.
See it?
This isn't great podcasting. Appreciate that.
But there was a similar sort of thing that Arsenal did last year in the Champions League, and the referee said, or wherever it was, it might have been a league game, and the referee said, obviously that's a mistake. Technically it's a handball, but let's just play on.
Yeah.
This referee, however, went, nah.
Oh, that's
Absolutely
shocking.
Not. Absolutely
They wanted
not.
him to retake it. Or he thought so Emi Martinez
He just thrown back to him
so that he could take the goal kick. That's so
don't know
bad. What are we doing? It's the same with the Moreno thing. They're not handballs. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, Moreno wasn't a handball either.
What on earth?
Moreno wasn't.
Thing is, Tyrone Mings go, oh no, I'm taking the goal kick. That's so
No, but it was live. He said he assumed, but it is quite funny as well. By the same token.
Yeah, they're through anyway. They'll be fine. Get out of it.
I don't know.
Matt hits. They'll be fine. The get out of it, mate. If they don't go through based on that, there'll be anger for a few hours, and then they'll move on from it. Get out of here, moment.
Hey, just checking here. Arsenal 12th. Is that good? I don't know.
Top half.
Doesn't sound good. Brest.
They've only conceded one goal, and it's a dodgy penalty. So you can spin anything.
Brest.
Happy with Brest?
Brest are fourth in the league. I'm happy with Brest.
Well, they're up top.
As previously discussed, I've seen enough of them in my lifetime, so I'm not really bothered. But it's good to see Brest doing well. Yeah, that is mental. After 4 games, Sporting, Monaco, Brest in the top 4.
Good, that isn't it?
And it would have been Villa if they won yesterday.
3 cheers for UEFA.
Yeah, it's good.
Right,
changing it all.
Yeah,
Robbie weren't happy. Did you see Robbie the other day?
No, what's wrong with it?
I don't like it. Because that was a tight game last night. And I'd love to take them back to Arsenal. And I think he's right. In terms of building storylines and narratives in the Champions League, home and away leg is better than this system.
No, I wouldn't just hold your horses there, because I think, from an entertainment point of view, I think this next 4 games are going to be brilliant now.
It starts to get interesting.
Now it gets good. Because you've got to get through the first bit.
We're looking at it, right? Look at this, James. Look at this conundrum we find ourselves in, right? So the top 8 go through automatically. And is it the next then have a playoff, or are they just seeded? What is the thing?
The top 8, and then it's the next. I want to say it's the next. There you go.
Down till 24.
9 to 24, they will have playoffs to take on the 8. So you want to get top 8.
Right.
You really want to get top 8.
Yeah, it's a big advantage, right? So understood. So you've got, if everyone in that top 8, there's not many. Like, you're looking at there, you've got Atalanta, good side, Villa, City, Juventus, Arsenal, and Leverkusen, all more than capable of getting into that top 8. And yes, you look at it, it's quite deep. Whereas, you got AC Milan there as well.
But you know what? Like, Dynamo could win 10-0, and then they're in top 2 or the top 8.
Where are Real Madrid?
Fuck,
there's Real Madrid are 18th as well.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But it's like, that's my point. It's 1 point, but also what's going to be great is it's going to go down to goal difference. So the last sort of 20 minutes of the last games are going to be brilliant, I think. It's going to be absolute chaos.
Do you know what?
We need a goal. Even if you're 3-0 up, we need 4.
It could be that they've pulled a masterstroke here, do you think? Because it's not fashionable to give them any credit.
No, I mean, I think we did a pod on it in the summer, and we were like, "This sounds great."
Sounds all right.
Yeah. Right. This is the good bit now. Okay. First of all, I'm fascinated to get your takes on this. So I was talking about I did get a comment from someone actually. He's actually become a moisty once more, and he's thanking me. Don't thank me, just enjoy it. He said, "Hi, I cancelled my Patreon a few months ago." This is Matt Lloyd.
What? So what? What, he did what?
Yeah, I know. He said, "I reluctantly cancelled my slugscription." This is good, I thought.
Right. Well,
get
why?
yourself a slugscription. Tough to say. Anyway, he's been back at work a few months. He's now got the money, and he's allowed to remodel. Well done.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Don't do that again, though.
He said, "I'd like to thank James for his recent endorsement of my new favourite accompaniment for a humble slice of toast, coconut oil and honey. Despite my scepticism and misgivings about betraying my class and joining the lofty elites with their innovative spread choices, I have to tip my hat in your direction for aiding in my decade-long search for toastal perfection. I don't like butter, and I've tried many alternatives, but the harmonious pairing of honey and coconut oil would have never dawned on me if it wasn't for Jaffin. Thank you." Try it. Everyone try it. If you tell me it's bad, you're a liar. Okay.
The alternative to that was, I think we sent you, it was salad cream on baked beans, wasn't it? I had a few people on Twitter going, I know what you're saying, but try it. And I'm like, I don't want to try it.
Yeah. No, but honey, like, no one doesn't like honey. And people like coconut.
And honey and coconut, that's sophisticated. That honey and coconut is sophisticated. You can see how it works.
Proper power move.
Salad cream all over baked beans.
Yeah, great. Proper power move. If I get the Manuka on some toast with some coconut. I might have to do that. Right, so odd
do you think that's
combos.
The most expensive piece of toast you can possibly eat.
Has to be, doesn't it? Has to be. Depends how much I put on it. Don't it?
What's the most expensive thing you can?
Because that's actually, we've never spoken about that. I'm a heavy spreader. You know, like if you're having toast.
Yeah.
Fam calls it don't put pervert butter on it. And I'm like,
what does she mean?
She wants like a little scrape on it, and I'm like, whack.
No, you got to load it. You got absolutely have to load because it's a substrate for the sandwich, right? You need it. It off like a good chunk of butter. And we're not talking about. You know what? I went around my.
It's got melt.
Good, you know. No, I've got a butter dish. You don't have a butter dish.
Yeah, we have a butter.
Stays out. Yeah, exactly. You know, these people are fucking freaks, right? They buy a block of butter and they put it in the fridge, and they. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like you take it out the fridge and go, well, that doesn't spread because you fucking frozen the block of butter in the fridge, you dickhead. Anyway,
don't even try and make a sandwich with that. It's just gonna have holes in it.
My old man, right? He's not short of a few bob, right? He's got a bit of money, right? He worked hard for his life.
Has he got Manuka honey?
I went round and he made me a sandwich. No, he hasn't. I went round and made a sandwich the other day in his house. You're staying over. Yeah. You know what he had?
Go on.
Vegetable oil spread instead of butter. Vegetable oil spread. I was like, what is this?
But does he like the flavour? Does he prefer the flavour?
I went, no, I don't know I don't know. No, they like butter. They just buy this shit. And I was like, what is it? And he went, oh, it's butter, innit? And I'm like, Dad, it's not butter. Fucking hell.
Do you know what? He might have
depriving yourself.
But he might have been of a generation. There was a period where you go through phases where you thought something was healthy, but you're better off just having the normal thing. Like they say that about oat milk now, which I still really like oat milk, but apparently oat milk, essentially you're having carb water, aren't you? Like, and it's oat milk.
Oh, because oats, yeah.
Yeah, so you're actually better off having semi-skim milk or whatever it might be.
But why wouldn't it? Why is there such an issue with cow's milk, given the fact that it's literally like it has everything it needs to bring up a calf.
Yeah,
you know, like tit milk as well. So everything you need in there in the tit milk. So if you get tit milk, they can't be. You can't just go, well, no, I want soy instead. Just have the fucking milk, unless you're like there's some ethical things. Nothing's gonna happen. What are you gonna?
Would you ever have
what are you doing? But saving you might be saving 6 days of your life.
But have you been
by having cow's milk?
Yeah. Have you been programmed to know that? Like, it's weird that like cows are fine, but like we're not having like I don't know what else. What else has milk? What other things have milk that like that's a mad animal that you'd never go? I'm not having elephant milk, whatever. You don't know whatever it is. You just wouldn't do
like
it.
monkeys. Monkey
milk. Yeah, I don't want. Who would have monkey milk with you? But with cows, you're like, it's fine. Funny that, isn't it?
Because we can drink it. We can drink it straight from the udder, and it's good for you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm dairy intolerant. I'm lactose intolerant. Fucking.
Quarter of people are lactose intolerant, Max Beckett says.
Yeah.
We're technically not used to cow's milk, even now.
I tell you what. Okay.
Right. Anyway, because I want to get we've got blowjob videos today. Great. So this is a great / odd combinations from people. Get your odd combinations in.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good.
I think you're like this. I thought you would.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
I feel like it might be one where we then try the odd combinations.
Oh, I'd love that. What live on Jeffin?
Live on Jeffin. Right. So Jimbo Biscuit says barbecue Pringles dipped in Nutella is my odd combo. Okay.
That's fucking sick. That is like how fucking. They're already calorific.
I'll give you. You're allowed to do like a sentence review on it. Okay. For me, in a word, that's pointless. That feels pointless to me. Just eat the barbecue Pringle. That's sweet enough. You don't need more sweet. So no, Jimbo.
It's also like you're walking heart attack if you're doing that all the time.
Yeah, isn't it? Pringle's known as the worst. You told me this, didn't you? Pringle's the worst food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No calorific. It has no healthy. There's nothing good about Pringles. I wouldn't. I won't touch Pringles. I won't touch them, James, because I know that I will eat them. If they're not in the house, it's not a problem.
Yeah, I totally agree. It needs to be out of my eyesight. That is a problem. We got given this cake, and fam's been away for the week, and it's there, and I don't know what to do.
Really?
I don't know where to put it. But
we've got cake that goes off. No one eats it in ours.
That's good. Good. Ban Summers. World-class combinations. Ready? Cheese and mint sauce sandwich.
No, come on, man. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here, James?
Yeah, man. It gets worse. So
Go on then. Look, are these real? Or are these real? Or are they just making them up just so they make the list?
I feel like they're genuine.
Getting wound up now.
Right.
Go on then.
Ollie Hay, weird combinations. Plain milk chocolate, then have a salt and vinegar crisp. Just try it, he says. I'm okay with that.
I think there's a salt and sweet and savoury type thing that does work.
An extremity thing, maybe.
Like cheese and chocolate kind of can work.
Can it? What?
Can it?
Take it back.
As I was saying it, I wasn't confident.
When have you ever? No, I'm not having a go at you yet. When have you ever had cheese then chocolate, like in the same moment? I don't think I ever have.
You're an
idiot.
Sorry. The Cheshire Cheese Company has a creamy chocolate and chili cheese. So how about you go and fuck yourself, Jake?
Doesn't mean it's good. Mad Mike 2222 says great combinations. Spam. Slow cooked on a disposable barbecue on a hot download festival day. Served in small pieces cut with the sharp spam lid using the ring paw as a handle to avoid cutting yourself. Safety first. Then a drizzle of brown sauce for flavour. Served on the leftover cardboard which came with the barbecue. Bon appetit. Fair enough.
Bon appetit.
Yeah. Andrew Young. Great combination. This is quite a well-known one. Peanut butter on Marmite. And Marmite on toast. The PB smooths off the edge off the Marmite, accentuating flavours of both.
We've talked about Marmite. I like that. You've talked about Marmite before, James. But have you had the truffle Marmite? That elevates it. That's the best kind of Marmite. That is.
Truffle Marmite.
Apple and cheese. What are you saying about that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, because essentially it's like a grape, isn't it? Really. Have you seen what Cameron Fraser's written here? Read that out. Read that. Third
right. One. Cameron Fraser says, I've had chocolate spread on one slice of bread and jam on the other and pepperoni in between. You motherfucker, Cameron. What? You haven't. You're just making stuff up. You're making a show of yourself. You're showing off in front of everybody. And it's got to stop. You grow up. What are you on about? Why? At what point did you go, do you know what this needs? A bit of pepperoni.
So what is it? So you've made a chocolate and jam sandwich and put pepperoni in the middle? That's what we're saying.
Yeah, just to be some sort of arsehole.
That's so pointless.
I want to see it, Cameron, because I don't believe you. I want you to make this sandwich, right? And yes, I am calling it, Jack. I want you to make this sandwich
in front of our eyes
and eat it on camera.
Yep.
For us.
Catherine's calling it as well.
For us for next week. Do you remember the madness, James? I just was popped back into my head of Japan of yesteryear.
He's lost.
Where we challenged. Listen, James, we challenged our audience to eat 750 grams of spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, bloody good, didn't they? Well, hey, the video. This leads. I'll just reel off last few because it's quick. Right, McKenna, combination red wine and Pepsi Max cherry. It's nutty. Not literally nutty. He's saying it's crazy. I would never do that. It's essentially, you're making kind of like a vermouth there. So am I right with that? Joe P. Wood, great combination. Right, this is the one. And so one of the replies said, "Your hard drive needs searching, son."
Yeah.
This guy said, Joey P. Wood, chewing gum, spearmint in my case, or polos with a nice fresh glass of semi-skimmed milk. It keeps your mouth nice and fresh whilst also rehardening the gum, so you feel like you've got a fresh piece with every sip. Mental. Do people ever have mint milkshakes? I guess you have mint ice cream, don't you? So maybe it's essentially mint ice cream that you're drinking. Anyway, right, blowjobs. Finish up a bit of blowjob. Bit of a blowjob. You got time for a quickie? Right, this. I saw the video. This is let me get it up. What was written was.
Yep. This is the one.
This is the one. So this is the first one. I've got another one that you've not seen then.
Yes.
So this is Max. What up, mate? This is fantastic. Here we go. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a couple of weeks ago, Flav asked the question, when is it okay to ask your significant other for a blowjob?
To your studio, secure the door, and then I leave. And then we only meet this time next week.
3 wins in 34 away games. Did you not hear me? 3 wins, 34 away games.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Randall out, Edwards out,
No, you don't.
Tijani out. These are big blows.
Yeah, he's doing good. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's a lot, isn't it? Oh my God. Yeah.
Big blows.
Hey, you're going to be taking over the radio in
Big blows.
15 minutes' time.
Can I have a blowjob?
At the moment, we've got this
Well,
text going on
The end bit's so good. So good.
Does she say if you like?
Yeah. She says yeah. Yeah, if you want one. She said yeah if you want one.
Oh mate, yeah. It's the setup. The setup is genius.
Really good. Celebration.
Big blows. These are big blows. Yeah.
So good. Right.
That's so good.
Blowjob one.
It's the setup, James, isn't it? It's the setup.
Yeah.
It's big blows. Those are big blows.
Little reload now.
Mate, that is what a legend though. She says, yeah, if you like.
Right.
Blowjob.
Oh. Blew my load there. Right. So the comment on this one, this is from it's El Tails. Hello, mate. He said it may need to be on loud as she's muttering to herself. Now I don't know what she's muttering, and I've asked Tails to send me a transcript. I need to know. But the bit before it's great. He also says she's pregnant for context. Right, here we go. His face is class. Here we go.
Can I have a blowjob?
I've just thrown up. What do you think?
Alright.
What?
So I can't have one.
All right.
Did you hear what she said though?
I've just thrown up. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Can I have a blowjob?
I've just thrown up. What do you think?
Alright.
All right.
Just Chloe wants to clarify.
I think I can't deal.
So I can't.
I think I can't deal with
So
you
can't-
anymore. Something like that.
So I can't have one. I don't know what she said, but I did really enjoy that.
I think
Great.
she said I can't deal with you. That's great. More. This is building. I'm not sure how it can build or where it can go. I don't think it's a public thing. It's very much in.
Yeah, I'm wary here. Got 2 weeks out.
Yeah, if you want to send some DMs, yeah.
Would
But
like
if there
the
are
transcript.
any
Would like the
others,
transcript, I'll be honest. Congratulations to Maxi. Commiserations to Tails. And good luck to all who might give it a go this week. Right, yeah.
I love the fact that, just sorry before we end, is that we've come up with this bit, and now because of this bit, Will ended up getting himself a blowjob that he wouldn't have got if it wasn't for this bit. I think that's fantastic. Everyone's happy.
Great. Oh, sorry. What is this? As Will said, because Will had to cut Will's. Oh yeah, lads, small update. Here we go. So again, last push for the Patreon. If you'd like to become a Moisty, less than a London pint. Links in the description. Come and join us for all the mailbags and all the podcasts live. Will Starring said, lads, small update. because we spoke about him last week. Sadly, the missus didn't allow me to tread the muddy passage following last week's confidence boost. We'll try again soon and report back. Only forwards.
I don't know. I like the only forwards moniker is not really for that, Will. All right.
Yeah.
It's much more wholesome than that. Just because you want to, take the back passage, right? Just because you want to do it. I don't want you using our moniker because it's not right. Okay. Do you remember last week? Full name. Wow. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, well, you're not allowed to use only forward for that.
I love the fact that you're a little bit upset. You're like, don't ruin our that we've built. That's only forwards. That's actually means something. Don't spoil it. Right. See you next week.
Cheers.